What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I should be in the studio right now. I'm making compromises. Just finishing up the last of these property tax bills. So we'll take care of that shortly. What up, friends? What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? Y'all feeling good? It's a great day in the life, says some. Aaliyah is in the building. AD in the Bag Chasers. Happy holidays, says Walk on Wood. Jesse, Xavier says, how are you doing today? I'm doing cool. Slow motion, chilling, taking in the views. It's raining outside. Got a lot going on. Merry Christmas to my girl, Aaliyah. Dame is in the building. Let me see what this audio is doing. All right. Got the audio popping. Make sure that that's cool. And we cool. We cool. How was your Christmas, AD? It was chill, man. I chilled with family. Went over my mom's house, watched my daughter open up all of her Christmas gifts. So it was really, really relaxed. It was probably one of the most relaxed Christmases that I've experienced in a very long time. So yes, it was chill. It was relaxed. It was lots and lots and lots going on. Thank you, Keisha. I appreciate you. What's up with y'all? How was y'all Christmas? I like it too. I like it too, Wendell Kilgore. I like it too. How was y'all Christmas? How was everything going with y'all? After hours was 5 hours and 27 minutes. Yeah, honestly, um, when it starts getting that long, I start crashing because I be up really, really early. And so they be looking at me like, Anton, what is going on with you? Well, are you fine? Are you okay? And I'll be thinking to myself, nah. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm getting super sleepy after being up at 5:30 the day before and not taking a nap. Now I'm starting to crash out a little bit. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a really great show. It was a really great show. But see, those are the type of shows where you be glad that you got a co-host because when doing a bunch of stuff in the morning and then you trying to figure it out at night, it's like, man, let me figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Let me teach some people some lessons really early because we're gonna start to put things in perspective before we get into the new year. I should have went to the studio. I really should have went to the studio today. But I slept in a little bit and then I woke up and then got straight back to business. And so I'm streaming here from the crib. Uh, Let me do a little bit of housekeeping. So we will be streaming on Saturday. So I didn't stream yesterday morning because I was playing good daddy, good father, and so I was doing a life balance, which is a thing for guys. Let me tell y'all something. For guys, not all of us, but for a lot of us, we make a lot of sacrifices. We make a lot of sacrifices. The things that we want to do versus the things that we do, the sacrifices that we make, a lot of times we don't even tell y'all. We just me being here right now is a sacrifice. Like me being working from this place instead of working from the studio is a sacrifice. Me not live streaming yesterday, that's a sacrifice. And every guy does it. Almost every guy that I know does it. They, forego the thing that they want to do for the thing that they feel like they have to do. You had me rolling with the power report. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. You be trying to stay up, Onaka? Do you have number for me to Lex? You don't even know how to talk right. Do I have a number for you to Lex? I don't even know what that means, bro. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Do I have a number for you to Lex? Shout out to William Justino. Congratulations. Said he went from 205 to 186, eating right and working out, watching Room 9 shows late at night and the early morning replay while working out. Thank you. Glad that we can entertain you. All right, let me get to some of these cash apps and then I'm gonna get to some of the super chats and we gotta go on with the show. The show must continue. And happy Christmas to everybody. He want Lex's phone number. For what? What you need Lex's phone number for? I literally was just talking to Lex. I was literally just talking to Lex. I was literally just talking to Lex. Literally. So I'm very protective over the ladies. Let me read some of these cash apps and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Let me straighten this out. I don't like that. I don't know what's up with this fucking lagging. I don't know, but it's bothering me. Respect says Revelations 1 and 14 through 15. I appreciate you. Tori Hughes says the greatest show on earth. I appreciate you, Tori Hughes. And thank you for the double cash app, Tori Hughes. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you, bro. Keywan, Merry Christmas. What up, Keywan? Mike that dude. I appreciate you, Mike that dude. Thank you for holding me down. Zena, Merry Christmas, Zena Bailey. I appreciate you also. My girl Heather says Merry Christmas to you, just sending love. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate you. And everybody that has tuned in all year long, everybody that's rocked out all year long, I appreciate y'all. I rock with y'all. Y'all are the greatest ever. Flywell says I invented something I think will take off. Okay, we'll put it out there then. Go get it copyrighted, trademarked, whatever you got to do, and start marketing it, big dog. Start marketing it. Start marketing it. Get it out there. Blue Waffle says, how do I get through my divorce? Very carefully. What do you mean, how do you get through your divorce? Did you file or did she file? Is she the one that wants out, or are you the one that wants out? That's the question. That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Did you outgrow your situation? Did you outgrow your situation, or is it something that we need to be a little bit more mindful about? You know, I filed, I want out. She keeps screaming and throwing things. Do you have children? You want to call in? You want to call in? Here, I'll tell you what. I'll give you. You ain't got to be on camera, but I'm gonna let you call in. I'm gonna let you call in for Blue Waffle because I don't like having a whole conversation on the text. So there you go. Before I get started with the show, I'm gonna allow for you to call in, and we're gonna figure it out together. And you don't even have to be on camera. Longtime fan of Anton here in the ATL. Good morning. What up, Princess Pilot? What up, baby girl? My baby girl Lex is in the building. Says good morning, everybody. If you want to call in, just hit the link and we'll talk about it for 5 minutes. Otherwise, if you ain't got no kids, no harm, no foul. It is what it is. What else is going on before we get popping? Tiffany J, Dallas, A Dunn, Gerald, Josh, Eric Harris, Takeover, Jesse Xavier. I see all of y'all in the building. We got an Anton retainer fee. Jaquel says, credence and blessings, AD and God's chosen. It's true, brother. Choose your sacrifice or life will choose for you. Men don't sacrifice your fitness. That's fair. That is a very, 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 very fair assessment. My Christmas, A Dunn, was cool. It was chilling. New subscriber, love the content. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. What up to all of my friends? Did I see the Tiffany Henyard interview? I didn't, but I seen some clips of it. I seen some little small clips. Um, hmm. It was a finals section yesterday. It was a final section yesterday on After Hours, and the last part where it said that, and I don't really think I got a chance to speak on it because I was so tired. But it was a lady that basically said that most men are only paid attention to when they stop providing because people automatically assume that everything is right or everything goes well. And I don't think that that's true for me. I think that I'm incredibly blessed and that I have tons of people that love me and show me appreciation and adoration on a regular basis, but I genuinely do feel for a lot of guys because we're supposed to get our happiness from making sure that we provide for other people. You understand what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to get our excitement from watching other people open up their gifts or, paying all of the bills and all of the property taxes that come every single day. And then renewing all of the fees and the tags, for all of the cars and all of this stuff, all of this garbage. You know, we're supposed to get all of our love through that. And I'll tell you that a lot of guys get conditioned to not even want to get nothing from nobody else. I know it seems crazy. I know it seems weird, but it's a lot of men that are conditioned, myself included. Even when it came to getting super chats and love and cash apps. There was a time that not this year, but the year before, I remember I had got like so much love or something like that. People was just like showering me and showering me and showering me with love. Thank you, AR. I'm gonna read your super chat shortly. That I couldn't handle it. Like I was not used to getting love, that level of love and adoration from people. And so I had to adjust. I had to learn how to accept blessings because for most guys, myself included, people ask me a lot of times, for example, they'll say, "Hey man, the Christmas is coming up. What do you want for Christmas? Or what should we do for you? Or how should we look out for you? Or whatever, so on and so forth," right? And I'll usually say nothing. Like, I don't want nothing. I'm straight or whatever. And one of the reasons that is because, you get used to doing so much for everybody else that men, we condition ourselves for our blessing to be everybody else to be blessed. So you give and you give and you give and you give and you give so much of yourself. And I'm using myself as an example to illustrate a point for all men, all good men, all great men. They give so much and they sacrifice so much of themselves that there tends to be an imbalance sometimes. And a lot of guys, they get forgotten about. Let me play this video from last night real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I still have it. I'm gonna have to find it. But she cooked. She really did cook. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you why a lot of guys. I'm gonna show y'all why a lot of guys say don't get married. Okay.
Man gains responsibility in his life, and I'm talking about a wife, a kids, and family, something strange happens. Literally, they will stop asking how he feels, and everything is about what he does. He becomes the provider, the protector, the solution, the fixer, the one that everybody leans on. And slowly, without anybody realizing it, he becomes invisible. Nobody checks on him. They don't ask if he's tired, if he's struggling, if he's overwhelmed. Everybody just assumes that he has it all handled. His value is tied to what he provides. It's not about who he is, how he feels, and what he needs. The sad part is the moment he slows down, says that he is tired, cannot do what he used to do, all of a sudden everybody is noticing him. But not to support him, but literally to ask questions, to judge him, and to criticize, and to remind him of what he used to do. Unfortunately, men do not disappear. They literally get buried under responsibility. And a man who is never seen eventually starts to feel alone in a room full of people that he loves.
So I say that to say, and I think that she really broke it down beautifully. I've seen it happen to so many men. I've seen it happen to so many men. And you know what the imbalance of it is that then they'll observe some homosexual nigga. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, a guy, because I watched this happen with my own eyes and my own family. Let's say, for example, it was one of my aunties, and um, he was a really good guy. Like he ran up a bag. He was really, and I don't want to go too much into detail because I know my family watches this, but he was a really, really, really good guy. He wasn't my uncle, but he was my uncle through marriage, and really esteemed, had a lot of degrees, all of this stuff, right? And I mean, this guy worked and worked. He might have been the first person that I had seen with a black card. He was one of the first people probably that I seen with a black card. and he worked his ass off all his life. And then eventually he died of cancer. And this was some time ago. If I had to guess, maybe 10 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer. But he died of cancer, and he was really intelligent, smart with his money, made smart investments. He also had life insurance. And so he had left an aunt of mine really well off, straight houses, everything was straight, right? And, of course, it was the grieving moment, but we didn't feel a sense of hurt as much because usually what happens in the black community is that the man or the family, when somebody dies, a lot of times in the black community, it becomes a burden because you got to figure out how to support the person, you got to figure out how to help them, and I'm talking about financially. This was one of the first times that I had seen because there wasn't a lot of deaths. There hasn't been a lot of deaths in my family, even though I have a really major family. I have a lot of people in my family that's aging. They're aging a lot, but there has not been a lot of death. And he was one of the first people that I've seen die in a very long time. And he was older. But anyways, usually what happens in the black community is, we got to figure out how to bury the person or somebody got to bear the majority of the responsibility. There is no life insurance, all of that stuff. This was not that situation. He had life insurance, he had resources that had stacked up and all of that. And so she had been with him for a long time. And, it was just a okay situation from a financial perspective. And I don't want to dig too much into the background, but I'll say this. Shortly thereafter, after saying, oh man, he was a great guy, stand-up dude, never got caught up in no bullshit, didn't do no cheating, no scandals, just his whole life from the time that we knew him all the way up until he passed. Great, great, excellent provider, all of that stuff. No sooner than probably less than a year of that man being in the grave. Man after man after man after man. New marriage, new marriage, new marriage, new marriage. All of the dudes that came after this nigga was like trash, bro. Trash. And then you spending his money or his resources on building these up. So I use that as an example to say these other dudes came in later and these niggas benefited off of your greatness as a legacy. You died to make sure that she was straight for the rest of her life. And then she was out here fumbling the bag and tricking it off on another nigga. You know what I'm saying? And when you observe that in real time and you old enough to really be able to take that in and realize it, a lot of guys then get the perspective or they start to take up the narrative and they say, well, combined with the fact of the risk that comes along with it, why would I get married? If I'm not trying to have no kids or whatever, why would I marry you? And it's not even about her. It's not you, ladies. When they say, why would I get married? It's not a you problem. It's a cultural problem. And it's like, it's nothing wrong with you, but why would I kill myself only for another nigga to get praised and my death? And then you use my resources, you know what I'm saying, to entertain this type of stuff. And I can understand it. I understand it from both lenses. I understand it from a spiritual perspective and raising kids and saying, yo, listen, this is what you got to do or whatever, so on and so forth. And I also understand it from the lens of guys that have suffered and died and look at what the shit that they went through. And no sooner than it's buried in the grave and he wasn't even warm. They didn't even grow grass over that shit. And you already got back in the streets. You're already back in the streets, And so you look at these guys and they sacrifice their youth, they sacrifice their life, and they not even recognize when they hear. A lot, when I observe a lot of women online and they define it and they give the definition of a good man. And that sounds all cute, but that sounds just like the shit that I see happen in real life. A good man is this. He's a provider. He's a protector. He covers her. He's emotionally intelligent. He's this, he's that, he's this and that. And every time I hear that, the whole thing, all I hear is he doing for her. 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 And then it's like, what's the point of being a good man if this nigga is just a servant? So you a servant with no reward? He's doing this. He's doing this. He makes sure that she got money. She can go shopping. But where do you think that she get the money from? He got to go and sacrifice. He got to go and work. He got to go and grind. He got to go and hustle. So the government take half, and then you take a whole huge portion. And then what did this nigga get? Some meat on a plate? Women ask the question and they say, well, why is it important? And I'm not saying that guys shouldn't be healthy or they shouldn't be fit or they shouldn't be working on themselves and all of that stuff. Because I think that guys need to do that for them. They shouldn't do it for the woman. But they ask the question and they say stuff like, well, why do a woman have to work so heavily on her looks as far as staying in the gym? But the guy is only required to mainly focus first on resources. And I'll tell you why. Because the resources is the thing that then stands you up, A. But B, what else do you have to offer him? What else do you have to offer? I mean, I'll be goddamn, you laying in the bed big after he got to do all of this as a good man? And he don't even get the best version of you? And then here's the worst part about it. This is another reason why I hear guys be saying this. And then she get a revenge body after they break up. So some nigga that didn't even put the effort in to make sure that she was straight, he get the benefit, he get the best of her. Like, what? I see that challenge online of the women that be saying, this is me and when I was married, this is me now. And it's like, so you couldn't give him that? Y'all would probably still be together if you was able to give him that version of you. Because it's a time commitment. The difference between the reason why women say a man's resources is his number one value and a woman's looks a lot of times, which I don't always agree with it. I think it could be a balance, a better balance. The reason why people say that is because that's the time commitment, right? If a guy has to spend the majority of his time going to get resources, which is natural, even back in the hunter-gatherer days, you spent the majority of your waking hours as a man going to hunt for food, building shelter, making sure that you prepare yourself for war, protecting your environment, watching out for the sheep. You spent 99% of your day that you were awoke looking out for everybody else and going to get resources, hunting, making sure that y'all had enough food for the winter, trying to predict the weather, conditioning yourself. So that's all the way back in the day. That's all the way back in time. So it's how you spend your time, and that's the way that we value each other. If a woman spends the majority of her time making sure that she's in a good space, that she's preparing things, that she looks great because you don't have shit else to do while I'm out here hunter or gatherer, and I have to spend the majority of my time out there gathering resources, that's the way we value each other, right? But then somewhere along the way, along with feminism and shit like that, somehow the guy got forgotten. He was no longer honored. And I think that was the price of freedom. The price of freedom was you do, and this is what we pedestalize, and we such simps. We so dumb. We so simps. We don't even demand respect. We so simpish as a culture, as a people, that we have pedestalized women so much to where we think that our only value is what we can do for them. And then we get nothing in return. Nothing in return. You go out there and you kill yourself every day. Every day you kill yourself. Every day, just a little bit more, you kill yourself for other people. And then the nigga is supposed to stay. Stay where? Stay where? With you? Why? Because he made an oath to God. So you don't also have a covenant that you made with God to make sure that you got to hold up your end of the bargain. So he just gotta die with you. He gotta die for you. For what? For you? I'm muted. Am I muted? I'm not muted. I just don't understand it. I just don't. I don't, man. I just don't understand how these guys. There's guys out here that got nothing, not even a thought for Christmas. There are men out here that got nothing. I mean, they got nothing. They didn't even get and guys don't ask for you to spend a lot of money, but they ask you to have a level of appreciation. And I'm gonna be honest. For me personally, my holidays are incredible because I am very much appreciated. That is the one thing that, well, not the one only thing, but the one of the things that I am very blessed with is people that adore me. You know what I'm saying? My girl adores me. My daughter adores me. My brothers, my mother adores me. And I don't mind providing. I don't. I'm a very generous person. I don't mind providing. My people that I work with even on after hours, adore me. They have a level of adoration and appreciation. And that's what make me want to continue to do more for them. That's why I want to go hard for them. My bag chasers adore me. And I fear that there is a lot of guys that are invisible. You was overwhelmed by the love. It's a lot of guys that's invisible. Look, we don't need a lot of juice in our battery, but we need that love. We need the adoration. We need to be recognized. And I'm just telling y'all, ladies, I know it's a me thing. And listen, look at me do my makeup while I get ready shit. And I know that y'all heavy on that. But I'm telling you that there's people and guys every single day. We will go out here and die, put our life on the line for you. At the very least, you can show some love, appreciation, and adoration with your actions on a regular basis. And it don't even have to be a big thing. It's the small things. It's the details every day at the very least. It's a lot of gas. Shit, if I got to deal with this, I might as well do this by myself. You know how women always say, well, that's what guys is now saying. They shunning it. They like, fuck this. Fuck this. Real talk. My daughter went to the P.O. box yesterday and she went and got all of this shit. All of these bills and shit, right? My daughter went to the P.O. box. This is the stuff that I already got paid this morning. This is tax, bills, the Mercedes, all of this stuff, right? And so she handed me all of this stuff, right? And I still got a bunch of stuff to pay, but she handed it to me and she was like, Dad, I really appreciate you. I don't know how to thank you, Dad. And she's 17 years old. She like, she said, because she seen me looking at it, she said, are all of those I said, yeah, these are tax for the cars. And I'm explaining it to her, property taxes and all of this stuff. And she was like, oh, I really appreciate you, Dad. Because she realized that, wait a minute, these lights ain't come on their own. These cars don't put gas in their own self. You know what I'm saying? These tags don't get on here, get on there on their own. And that's all I don't need no more than that. I'm cool. Oh man, you appreciate me? Man, that's cool. So, you know, AD, here's something that I messed up. I had women that showed that love. She adored me, and because I was brought up to believe I wasn't shit, I didn't know how to receive it and mess it up. Yeah, a lot of us go through that though. I still do that. Listen, Enos, and I'm about to get in the show. I'm about to get into the show. I'm like that right now. I'm like that right now. I get shown love and I don't know how to receive it. And so a lot of times I reject it. Nah, I don't need nothing. Nah, man, listen, I'm good. Don't worry about me. Whatever, so on and so forth. And the beautiful thing about my people is that they don't care. They'll love me anyway through it. And they'll just be like, oh, well, that's just who you are. I'ma still love on you. I'ma still adore you. I'ma still drape myself over you, all of that stuff. So I'm blessed again, and I recognize how blessed I am. I believe that God gave me his best. He did. And I'm very thankful for that. God has given me the best people ever. I could never, ever, 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 ever in a million years imagine some of the things that God has blessed me with. He has given me his best people, his best soldiers, his greatest gifts, workers, women, everybody. People that are in my life, God has given me the best. He has spared no sacrifice. He has made no concessions in my life. No concessions. When I lay down at night, he has given me the best of everything. Everything. He has spared no concession in my journey in this life to continue to do what it is that I do. I am very, 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 very thankful for the people that he put into my life. At all. At all. I am so thankful. He has given me his best of everything. And when I say the best, I mean the best. I'm like, oh my God, like I wouldn't trade y'all in for the world. Wouldn't trade it in for the world. I love, love, love the people that he has put into my life. I love my bag chasers. I love my people that work with me. I love the people. I love you guys. I love, my daughter. I love my girl. I love my girl. Man, he has given me the best. That's why I'm so possessive. That's why I'm so territorial. That's why I'm so protective. It's because I will cut a nigga throat if he ever try to touch anything that's mine. I will have a nigga neck. I'm telling you, I am very territorial, super territorial over my people. What up to my dog, Class E? What up, Messi? What up, everybody? Y'all love me too. I love you more. All right. Shout out to Henry Jones says, thank you for your wisdom. And also, let me say this also. That's why I don't count other people's blessings and compare myself. I compare myself when I'm looking to create like a goal that I'm trying to achieve. Oh man, they was able to achieve these numbers as a content creator. All right, I'm gonna shoot for that. How do I get there? But I don't compare myself. Like, you know how people say, oh, you should move over here or you should do this, you should do that. No, I'm good just where I am. I'm appreciative just where I am. I'm appreciative of the money that he already gave me. I'm appreciative of the stuff that he's already blessed me with. I'm appreciative of my daughter. Like, I'm already good. That's why I don't need to be in the same space. Comparison, a lot of times, is the thief of joy when you're trying to evaluate what you don't have. Thank you for your wisdom. Did you get my email? I think I did, Henry. I got you. I got you. AR is back, says, won't he do it? My sister gave me a rent-free house on the east. My parents also cashed out on the Jeep to pay them back with no APR. When you grinding, folks, know this bag about to look totally different throughout 2026. Congratulations, AR. Look at them blessings. And thank you for holding me down for the 50 ball, bro. Sorry, but thanks for the opportunity to call, says Blue Waffle. Abe the Hunter says, a secret to a man's heart is to say I love you to him without out of the blue. He may start crying when he get alone. Maybe. All right, y'all. Ready to get started? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. I just wanted to tell y'all that as we 261 shows in, 261 shows, season 5. That's crazy. I want to head over to Maryland first before we get into the money, before we get into Gary, before we get into Trump. I want to head over to Maryland. What is going on with these ICE agents that were shot in Maryland? Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
2 people are in the hospital tonight after the Department of Homeland Security says ICE agents opened fire on a van that was allegedly being driven into them. Here's audio from first responders in the last couple of hours.
Medic 18 en route. EMS 1, Battalion Chief 1 respond. 504 West Court. Cross street of Park West Drive. Now reporting gunshot wound.
These images posted by Homeland Security on X show a van that DHS says was driven off the road after ICE officers shot at the driver and passenger during a targeted immigration enforcement operation. According to DHS, ICE officers feared for their lives and began shooting after the driver, quote, attempted to flee and weaponized his vehicle. Both the driver and passenger were hurt and have been taken to a local hospital. Brianna Ross from our NBC station in Baltimore is following this story for us. Brianna, what more are you learning?
Well, Ellison, we know that this happened just before 11 this morning in this Glen Burnie neighborhood. A spokesperson with ICE tells me that ICE agents spotted 2 men who they say are illegal immigrants. The driver of a van whose name is Tiago Alexandra Sousa Martins, who they say is from Portugal, and then the passenger of that van, Solomon Antonio Serrano Escovel, who they say is from El Salvador. Now, ICE agents say that they went up to the van to try to talk to the 2 men, and that's when the driver tried to get away, started ramming his van into ICE vehicles, and then they say that driver sped toward ICE agents, and that's when ICE agents took out their weapons and started shooting. They hit the driver, and that driver then crashed the van in between 2 buildings. The passenger, we're told, was injured in that crash. We know that both men went to the hospital. We're told they are now in stable condition, expected to recover. ICE says that none of their agents were hurt during this situation. But as you can see, this investigation is still underway. We still see the police tape up behind us. We still see a vehicle from Anne Arundel County Police. That's the county we are in right now. And we actually just saw a tow truck drive past the tape. So we're wondering if that is to tow the van that was crashed actually back in a wooded area back there. We're wondering if that is to retrieve that van. Now, neighbors, as you can imagine, are quite surprised that this is happening in their neighborhood on Christmas Eve. They say this is typically a peaceful, quiet neighborhood. Some neighbors tell me they even heard those gunshots. They came outside to see what was going on and witnessed a chaotic scene here. They say they don't normally see ICE in their neighborhood, so they're really wondering what was going on in this particular situation. But again, this is still under investigation. ICE, Anne Arundel County Police, and the FBI are all now involved in this investigation, and we're continuing to work to learn more. But for now, back to you, Ellison.
Brianna Ross.
You cannot use a vehicle as a weapon. You cannot use a vehicle as a weapon against an officer at all. Zeroy says ICE is going to have to be more aware. I've seen individuals get too relaxed patrolling them sometimes. Yeah, I think that now we're in a time where people are starting to get desperate, especially if a person don't have nothing to lose. And that's another thing that y'all have to pay attention to. If people don't feel like they have anything to lose, then that means that they'll take you out. And you got to be very, very, very careful. Very, very, very careful. Because if they feel like they got to go back to their home country, or if they're going to get deported and that they don't have no other outs, what do you think is going to happen? And so these guys are going to have to be more situationally aware. I'm wondering what type of training that they're getting. You saw a streamer run somebody over too. I seen that. Gerald Sparrow says ICE needs to stop announcing where they're going to be at. Well, I don't think it's ICE that are making these announcements. I think that it is moles and governors that want to promote themselves and politicians that want to say, well, look, we're going to bring ICE in or whatever like that. And so instead of them letting them secretly do their job, and then you also have a lot of these liberal apologists that create these apps, and people go through great lengths. They go through great lengths. They'll create these applications that then identify or spot wherever it is that they see ICE agents. And then you got people that try to basically, impact their ability to do their job successfully. I mean, y'all seen it with your own eyes. There are people that can't wait. They run into ICE officers or they have confrontations and they're hoping that the ICE officers' masks fall down. This is something that Tom Homan had been talking about for a long time. A lot of ICE agents and officers started getting doxxed. People were going to their home and putting their addresses online. There are some evil people out here. There are some super evil people out here. And the minute that they then get word that these people are in a specific area, that's when they then start to get over it and start to try to make it difficult. We don't have any humanity anymore. We only have humanity for people that are doing stuff that's not supposed to be here. It is. It was the man that put, yes, I seen that too, Will Nola. You know what? Let me go over to that story real quick. And this is another thing. No, that's not it. It was a female cop. Man, where is that at? Is this it right here?
One person is in custody tonight after stealing a Washington State Patrol SUV. A man is behind bars tonight after ripping a Washington State Patrol lieutenant out of her cruiser, then taking off on I-5. Thank you for joining us for King 5 News at 11. I'm Jessica Janner Castro. Multiple witnesses captured the chaotic scene in Seattle on video. King 5's Jim Nelson has an update on the lieutenant and the investigation.
Physically, she's okay, maybe a bit shaken up. Look, it's been a rough week or so for Washington State Patrol. First, the line of duty death of Trooper Tara Marissa Guting, and at least a half dozen incidents in which State Patrol vehicles were hit. Just after 11:30, it was clear something was off. Troopers trailed a guy who was walking on Interstate 5 near Northgate in Seattle. Multiple cruisers responded. This driver started recording on his phone as the suspect walked toward an unmarked patrol car. The lieutenant inside backs off.
Contacting pedestrians, a lot of times, can be dangerous also. I mean, this individual obviously was in, possibly a state of mind where they were putting themselves in danger, running back and forth.
When did y'all start being scared as police officers? When did we start being scared and being police officers? Y'all know me. I already told y'all what it was like growing up in Detroit. They had gang squad police officers. All they did was work out and bust heads and steal drugs and frame niggas and tell you, hey, you better get out the street. You better get back home. When people seen that certain unmarked cars coming down the street or they see certain things, they get out the way. There used to be a level of respect that we used to have for the police officers. Now, we done went diversity, equity, and inclusion. You can't touch nobody. They done recruited a bunch of female officers that's out here in the street. It's so bad to where now, basically, they got like different Instagram posts and stuff where they saying how fine a police officer, man, look how bad she is. What's up, Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer? Wee. Yeah. I got stopped by a lady cop. Yeah. Uniform rights. I have the right to remain silent. Now we don't fear cops anymore. We see if we want to get their number. Hey, what's up, baby girl? Hey, nah. Mm-mm. You got your handcuffs. I see you got your service weapon. Ah, you got me arrested. Now, listen, I see women using a job as a way to promote themselves to get popping on Instagram. Wee. When did we start being scared of criminals? When did criminals started having dominion, and the people support the criminals having dominion? There's two things. You got these women cops out here getting mollywopped. Man, I'll be seeing some women cops sometimes, and they be cool too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you run into them and they be super cool, and everybody is got good energy and stuff like that. So I'll be seeing women cops and I'll be kicking it with them because, they watch the show and stuff. But then I'll be thinking to myself, girl, what you doing out here? Girl, you shouldn't be out. You shouldn't be out here in these streets. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. Mm-mm. I want you on a desk job, baby. I want you doing regular police work. Let's do some investigations. There's one girl cop that I know, but she out in a different city. She not here in Michigan. She in one of my sister cities, and she's so fucking fine. She's so pretty. I know there's one cop, bruh. She's so fine. She's so pretty. Shout out to my Chicago cops. The prettiest girl cop I know is in Chicago. I ain't gonna kid you, bro. Usually I have shit for Chicago, but not on Christmas. I got to give y'all some props. It's a police officer that's so bad in Chicago. I ain't even gonna kid you. I said, wee. Yeah. You was there a week ago. I ain't lying. See what I'm saying? Trying to get me pulled over. Mm-mm.
Was in, possibly a state of mind where they were putting themselves in danger, running back and forth across, both north and southbound I-5.
Facts. Bring back toxic masculinity. So our society is so much better with toxic masculinity. I agree with you.
Eventually, the civilian just floors it and takes off without seeing what happened next. Perhaps the best video we've seen yet is this, obtained exclusively by TMZ. You see the guy open the door. The trooper has no idea what's going on. He rips her from the seat, throws her to the ground, and gets right in. Looks like he locked the door, too. So the guy speeds off. Essentially, this is a carjacking. That's when that passerby knew something was really off.
Units in pursuit.
Oh my God, he just stole the cop car.
The chase ended on southbound I-5 in Linwood when other troopers rammed into the stolen cruiser with the suspect inside.
State Patrol's got one in custody, and they're under control.
A State Patrol spokesperson told me neither the suspect nor the lieutenant were hurt.
I mean, she's fine. I actually spoke with her. She's going
to... Okay, V12 Ken. You got a semi-profile picture, so I'm going to entertain you today. You said this has got to be a skit. You seriously can't believe the public needs to fear cops. Criminals need to fear cops. but they don't. I know you have a very difficult time understanding context and understanding if you don't have anything to fear, then, or if you're not committing a crime, or if you're not person in the wrong, you absolutely should not be fearing cops. That should be your first line of defense. That's why we respect them so much. But if you are a person that's out here doing some shit, you shouldn't feel comfortable walking up to a police car and grabbing a police officer out of the car and then speeding off with their vehicle. Man, that's instant death. Back in my day, if you did something to a cop, if you hit a cop, you was getting your ass beat, bro. You 100% should be fearing police officers if you're about to do something you're not supposed to do. Why wouldn't a criminal supposed to fear a cop? Yes. You was a criminal as a child and you feared your parents when you did something you wasn't supposed to do. You know why? Because you was about to get belt to ass. They don't fear jail. They don't fear getting arrested. They don't fear getting roughed up. That's why they feel so comfortable breaking into other people's homes. Yes, you should fear police officers if you are a person that is doing something that you are not supposed to do. So if you don't understand that, then there's nothing I can do for you. Yes, you should fear police officers. Yes, absolutely, 100%. So, and I'm going to answer your question directly. You know me, I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to make you feel good about what you're saying. I'm not going to say the politically correct thing. I'm not going to do none of that. You said respect, not fear. No, fear. Fear. I don't want your fucking respect. Fuck your respect. I don't want your respect. I want you to fear. If you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, you don't respect me if you do something you're not supposed to do. No, you need to fear doing things. Fearing the Lord. Yes, you need fear, nigga. Respect. Don't nobody care about your respect. Fuck your respect. Y'all think y'all can get me with this? Y'all think that means something to me with your little politically correct words? No, I didn't grow up in the 2000s. I'm not coddling y'all. Fear. Full-blown fear. That's correct. You got it. Fearing the Lord is a sign of wisdom. Absolutely. It's the beginning of knowledge. But see, they don't know that because they ain't never picked up a Bible outside of their grandmother making them read it when they didn't eat their food all the way. You don't know nothing like that. That's why you poor, because you don't have no kind of fear in your heart that then led you to do the right thing and kept you on the right path. That's why you got a record. You don't even fear going to jail because you feel like you're going to find your soulmate in there. You don't even fear going to jail because you feel like you're going to find your soulmate. What's up, Crimson? My gorgeous, beautiful, awesome, lovely lady with pretty teeth and the greatest smile. I love y'all. What up to my baby girl? You are 100% correct. Denise, what up to Denise? My girl Denise in the building. This is Anton. Did you see the U.S. Supreme Court clarification that Trump needs to send the military before the National Guard, so Marines inbound by New Year's? No, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Well, I do have a show tomorrow. I do want to let y'all know that I do have a show tomorrow, so we'll be doing a show tomorrow on the Millionaire Morning Show on Saturday to make up for Christmas because we didn't stream on Christmas morning. All right. I don't have no fear, bro. I don't have no fear. Let's see. We got that. Oh, and one more thing that I wanted to tackle before I get into Trump. It was a Barnes & Noble stabbing. Have y'all seen that?
Welcome back here on Live. live now from Fox. My name is Josh Breslow, and I do want to get to a developing story that we continue to follow out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Take a look at your screen. This is a post from the New York Post saying Christmas shopper was stabbed to death by mentally ill homeless man in Barnes & Noble. That is according to police. Now, we do have this video here coming in from our affiliates in that area. That is the suspect right there on your screen appearing in court, 40-year-old Antonio Moore. Now, here is what we know from investigators. All of this taking place there in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, at this Barnes & Noble store that you're looking at on your screen. Now, the incident involving victim Rita Lancharich happened around 8 p.m. Monday at the Legacy Place Shopping Center. If you are familiar with the area, what you're looking at are some of the court documents there. Witnesses told police that the suspect, Antonio Moore, ran out of the store after stabbing the victim. Lancharich, that victim, was found by responding officers inside the Barnes & Noble suffering from a stab wound and later died in the hospital from her injuries. Now, according to the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, in a statement to ABC News, they wrote, "This investigation is active and ongoing."
Y'all said the audio was this one. Yeah, that's why I went and found another one. I got you.
I'm Yasmin Julmus. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to get right to that breaking news involving a woman stabbed to death inside a Palm Beach Gardens bookstore. Our Caleb Califano is live outside the Barnes & Noble in Legacy Place, a very popular area. Caleb, you know what happened, more about the victim and the suspect. Caleb, good afternoon.
That is exactly right. We do know that the Barnes & Noble behind me here in Palm Beach Gardens is back open today. We talked to a number of customers earlier this morning who say they're absolutely shocked by what happened inside. Now, the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department does tell us the stabbing here happened here just before 8 o'clock last night. And just to confirm, it was inside the Barnes & Noble. When officers went inside the store, they found the victim, which has now been identified as 65-year-old Rita Lancharich. They immediately tried to render aid and transported her to a local hospital, where police say she later died from her injuries. Police have also identified the suspect, who is 40-year-old Antonio Moore, who immediately left the scene after the stabbing. He was located by investigators a short time after. He is now at the Palm Beach County Jail, charged with first-degree murder. We have looked into his past and have not found any prior charges.
It's horrible. I've lived here for more than 50 years. It used to be a really nice little community, and can't imagine going into a Barnes & Noble and having to see something like that.
Now, we have reached out to Barnes & Noble corporate about the stabbing. They say they do not comment on active police investigations.
This is so messed up, bro. Imagine going into a bookstore. Imagine going into a bookstore. Let me get his mugshot up here. Imagine going into a bookstore and running into a dog who ain't got nothing to lose, and this is the dude that ends you. You've lived your life. You've raised your children. You got good energy. You go down to Palm Beach because that's where all of the retirees are. And you decide, you know what? I want to get a good book for Christmas. This is why I am vigilant. I tell my people all the time, hey, listen, I know you want to be out there. You think you're independent. You're running around in the streets doing what you want to do when you want to do it. It only takes one person like this, where you go to the bookstore, you go to the coffee shop or something like that, and he just stabs you for no reason. And he ain't got nothing to lose. He stabs you for no reason. And let me tell y'all something. Stop saying everybody mentally ill. They're not mentally ill. They made a series of bad decisions. You made a series of good decisions in your life. They made a series of bad decisions in their life. So now they want to try to act crazy. Bro, I believe that less than 0.1% of most people that are out here, even the ones that we identify as crazy, is not crazy. They know what they be doing. You know how I know they know what they doing? Because I deal with them on a regular basis. They know who they can get away with that shit with. In any downtown area, any of them, of a major city, not the small, not these fake downtowns that y'all be in. You know, these little suburban places, they say, oh, you're going to go to downtown Plymouth or downtown whatever, right? Downtown La Jolla. That's not a real downtown, okay? That's just a meeting place for people to feel comfortable about how you spending your tax dollars. A real downtown is a major city that has at least 350 to 400,000 people. Let's even just say 500,000. A city has to have at least 500,000 people, and it has to have a certain square mile for it to be really considered a real downtown, all right? So any major city that is a downtown is going to have homeless. Even in San Diego, I didn't just stay in La Jolla. I went over to the Gaslamp District. I went to downtown. I went to a lot of different places over in San Diego. And you know what I seen? I seen niggas pulling their pants down to the public. I seen people acting crazy. And even right here, I go downtown and, it's the same people over and over again. And you wonder, hey, man, how are you able to survive through the cold? How are you able to survive through the winter? How are you able to bother people in the summer? All of this stuff, right? And guess what? They know what they're doing. They're not crazy. We say they mentally ill because we see their hair all to the left and to the right, and to the beard to be overgrown, and then they want to have two different shoes on. And guess what they'll do? Let me tell you what they'll do. They not crazy, Zeroids. They're not crazy. They know who they can get away with it with. The white people that come from the suburbs, that come to go to the Detroit Lions game, they bully them niggas out of money. Hey, give me some money. And then I come over there. Bernard, stop, bro. Stop acting like that. Oh, okay. All right, Anton. All right. You got something for me, big dog? They know what they doing. They play the game with y'all because they know that that's a way for them to get some money out of y'all. And they just degenerate. They don't want to do nothing. They made a series of bad decisions. They try to act like they don't know what they do. Oh, my God, I'm out of it. And yeah, I still take care of it. I'm still make sure they're good. But let me tell you something. They not crazy. They know exactly what they're doing when they doing it. They not stupid. They know where the shelter is. They know where to get food. They know where to sleep. They know where to hide. They know where to do everything they know what to do. And then they'll sit here and get sick of it. Somebody piss them off. And somebody steal one of their baskets or their carts. And so they angry and they don't know how to control themselves. So they go over to Barnes & Noble and they stab a nigga. I'm telling you. So he ain't crazy. He know what he doing. He know exactly what's going on. But you think just because he out here on the streets that oh man, he's mentally insane. Look at his beard. They not crazy. And let me tell you something. They also know who to stab. Notice how it wasn't a 36-year-old man that he stabbed. He stabbed a 65-year-old woman. They look for the weakest. They look for the vulnerable. They look for people that they can bother. They look for all of this stuff. And so what I'm telling you is being situationally aware and aware of your surroundings. Being situationally aware and aware of your surroundings is a survival mechanism. Y'all need to learn. And I know that they tried to tell y'all, hey, no, diversity, equity, and inclusion, treat everybody the same. No, you need to learn how to profile. I am a huge advocate, a major, massive. 2026, we're doing a profile segment of the show. We're going to make that a permanent part of the show. I am a huge advocate for profiling people. Profile. I don't give a fuck if they call you racist. I don't care if they call you biased. I don't care if they call you sexist. I don't care none of that. That's a survival tool that God has given you to recognize behavior that happens regularly and don't put yourself into it. Behavior regularly and don't put yourself into it. This guy has on a Nike Tech outfit from head to toe, and he got on dreads. And the end of the dreads is burnt dreads, and they beige. And he got on black Air Force Ones. You know what? My survival rate has just went down by 30% if I take a chance and walk on the same side of the street as this nigga. And he got on the Pooh Shiesty mask. It's a possibility. It's a great. My survival rate went down by 30% if I decide that I still want to stick around on this side of the street. Now you can spot this nigga from a block away, which means that you can now either go back to your car, A, which you'll have a greater, it can go back up 30%, or you can B, walk across the street and hope that he didn't see you cross because you crossed early enough to not make it uncomfortable and make it seem like you was crossing as a result of him, which will still make you a target. That probably give you a 15% up rate. Or you can walk down the street and act like that this nigga is a part of diversity, equity, and inclusion and that you shouldn't judge people, in which you have a greater chance of getting your ass kicked. So which one is it? Which one do you want to do? Do you want to live tomorrow, or do you want to take a chance and put your life on the line with a dude that's walking down the street with a Pooh Shiesty mask? It's up to you. It's up to you. Same thing with white people. You see this guy, and he keep on being in the bunker. He weird every day. He only come out during school time to see the little kids, you know, and he just lost his job at the state fair, and this nigga's in deranged. Do you want to take a chance, or do you possibly think that this nigga is something wrong, or do you just want to let your kids walk down the street with him every day? Or do y'all think that you should keep an eye on him and that you should probably find out who owned the house that he live in and look at the child sexual predator list? It's up to you. It's up to you. Probably should go and look at the child sexual predator list. Nigga worked at the state fair every single year and he keep doing the same job. Like, dog, you gonna keep on playing with the teddy bears at the state fair? Hey, man. See him over there? You need to profile. I profile, let me tell you my best profile. My best profile ever. Ever. At the time, we thought the shit was hilarious. All right. And this is the honest to God truth. And you know me. When I say this, I put it on my father. When I was in college, all right, my first year in college, right out of high school, I went to UND Mercy in Detroit. Private college, you know, it was cool. It was chill. My first work study job was in a library. All right. Now, remember, this is 2000. So internet wasn't as fast, didn't have as much social media, none of that type of stuff, right? And I don't know what it was. This is when I started being able to really profile white people more effectively. Both of my bosses, I had a boss when I was in high school, and for whatever reason, that nigga always, because he was, all right, my first major job where I first started getting bags was in high school. I was like 10th grade or something like that. And I was working, my homeboy had got me a job at the plant. And so I could walk there because you just walk straight across 8 Mile. There was a bunch of manufacturing plants down Wyoming, and it was like small part suppliers for the big three. And every time, I don't know why, but every single time, you know, in the afternoon, there was some brothers that ran a little small manufacturing plant. And he would give me a task, and then he would go in his office, and this nigga would always be watching porn. And he didn't know, even when he faced his monitor away from the door, because there's always had this little square window on the door, even when he faced his monitor away from the door, I could see it from the reflection of the window that was behind him. So I could see that this nigga was always watching porn, and every single day he watched porn, right? And then when I was in college, my work study job, always a weird white man with no beard, mustache was always overgrown, circle glasses, and it looked like he was a computer programmer, except he was the head librarian at night, right? The closing librarian. So I'll go and interview with the nigga, and I get the job or whatever. And every single time he would give me all of this extra work, I would have to do his work, which I didn't care. I didn't mind doing the work because I just like to be in the library because I like to read. He had this small little cubby hole office where he kept the computer at, and you would just walk by and you would look real quick, and you could see this nigga always looking at porn. He would always be looking at the youngest type of chick he could find on the internet. Now, at the time, in reality, I should have probably been like, man, something weird with this dude. Maybe we need to call, whatever. But you know us. Like, you raised in the hood, listen, you manage your business. You don't say nothing. You just laugh about it or whatever. But I just knew. I knew not to shake his hand. I knew not to, you know what I'm saying, give him dap. Always just gave him, yep, finish my stuff. Because this nigga would be jerking off every fucking day. Every day. And this is on everything. He always watched porn. Always. On library computers. Now, maybe we didn't have as much technology back then or tracking services to where they could see what you was doing on company, on campus computers and stuff like that back in 2000. But I'm telling you, bro, I used to catch this nigga every night because I was working afternoons. You go to your classes in the daytime, and then I would work afternoons in the library at UAD Jesuit, and that was my work study job. Every single day, this nigga was watching porn. Every single day, bro. Every day, without fail. And I was like, man, these niggas is weird, bro. They weird. They weirdos, bro. They are weirdos. Go out, help somebody with their book. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn a decimal system. I learned a lot. Every job that I've ever worked in my life, I learned so much. What books was rare, what books wasn't. Even when I went to Portland, they had one of the dopest things that I seen in Portland, even though Portland was a piece of shit. One of the dopest things that I went to Portland, they had this bookstore, this big, giant bookstore that had like 5 floors or something on it. And they had this rare book archive that was like historical, and you can go in and you can spend a lot of money if you wanted to actually purchase some books and all of that. But all I'm saying is I was able to learn how to profile effectively. So when I see y'all walking through, and whether it's the streets, the hood, dudes as pedos, people that like little kids, that's why I'm able to spot passport bros that buy pussy so easy. Yeah, let me get on you niggas. Keep putting pressure on you punk ass motherfuckers. That's why I'm able to see, I could tell the difference between a nigga that's going over there and looking at it culturally and saying, man, I love this country, or man, I want to get a different experience, or man, if I just so happen to find love while at the same time experience different cultural norms and learning to respect other people's culture, then, that's great. But I'm able to spot the degenerates. And I'm disappointed in some of you niggas. Some of you YouTubers, I thought y'all were the cool ones. I thought that you guys were a good representation of especially black people and white people. I know y'all some degenerates too, so y'all be over there buying pussy. Y'all buy pussy more than black people. But I'm going to get there. For some of you YouTubers, I thought y'all was the cool ones, and that's why I supported y'all in the beginning. Y'all reached out to me. Yeah, Anton, can you come on my platform? Yeah, I'll come on your platform. You from, this place that I love or whatever, so on and so forth. And so I thought you niggas was the cool ones. But y'all don't really, y'all not what I thought y'all was, because y'all support degenerate behavior. You know what I'm saying? You niggas start defending these degenerate bitch ass niggas and think that, and so now I got to look at you funny because y'all looking funny in the light. Now I got to look at you funny in the light because when I call out degenerate behavior of the group of people that support you, and make no mistake about it, most of the niggas that watch all live streams, they jerk off in their socks. Y'all not building a group and a community of people that are strong in their core beliefs and respect other people's culture, and it just in case they go and find find love in another country because they just so happen to be organically enjoying and adapting to what's going on there. No. That's not what's happening. I see. That's why we watched that other nigga get arrested the other day. I see y'all upholding, and instead of rooting out, y'all know different than bad cops. You're no different. You degenerate bitch ass passport bros, you're no different than the cops that we like to call out. You know how we say it's a blue wall and the good cops get lumped in with the bad cops because the good cops don't call out the behavior of the bad cops? You're the same way. You're the same way. When you don't address the people that are embarrassing y'all, and then you wonder why people label you negatively because you become sex tourists, and then they say, well, don't dick police me. Nigga, don't nobody want to dick police your little penis. I got a big dick. Thick, round, girth. I'm not tripping over you niggas' little penises. What would I give a fuck? Why would I care about what you niggas are sexual tourists? I'm trying to root out the degenerate behavior, and so we have to address this accordingly. No, don't clip that part out. Keep that part in. Keep that part in. Don't take that part out. Niggas is over there getting the little kids. You're chasing little kids. You think you can get away with it because you're in a different country. Call out, yes, Girth Brooks. Call out the degenerate behavior. Stop being dummies. When you support this dumb shit and you don't separate yourself from it and say, you know what? Well, Anton is right about that. But instead, you're trying to keep the little audience that you got. Do you know why you can't grow? Do you realize why you can't grow? Is because they know that you are a pander bear to sexual deviance. Nobody is going to support a channel that is pandering to sexual deviance. So if the majority of your audience are bullshitters and sexual deviants, nobody is going to continue to allow for you to grow. It don't matter how much you stream, don't matter who you get on your platform. You're going to be at a cap because you're not authentically being the thing that you're supposed to be, and people are smart. They can see through it. It's just like the women, right? A lot of people say, oh man, Anton be getting on the women. Why do you think so many women still love me and support me even though I hold them accountable? You know why? Because they can see the truth and that I hold them accountable because I love them, because I want them to do better. So of course you're going to see some big backs that get mad and say, oh my God, he hates women. But women authentically know, and they can see, you know what? Yeah, he is right. Yeah, I shouldn't be out here busting it down for a real one and having 7 different fathers for 10 different children. Yeah, okay, cool. So eventually, even though you're going to get shocked and you're going to get bothered, what I say initially, because you think you're part of a degenerate crew, the women is going to come over and they're going to say, Anton, we love you. Thank you for loving us. And so it's going to even out. It's going to even out because authenticity often at times shine through. But when you continue to support this degenerate behavior for little pennies on the dollar, that's the reason why you're not growing as a platform. That's the reason why you're not growing as a platform. Deviant behavior. How do we get here? How do we get here? How do we get here? Y'all niggas over there organizing trips like the sister code. These niggas, who takes group trips with niggas that they don't even know? Y'all organizing, y'all linking up on the internet like bitches, like women. Y'all organize, dude. These niggas is doing group trips. They doing girl trips. They're doing girl trips. I've never seen a bunch of guys that don't know each other connect with each other over the internet and with secret identities and profiles on Reddit and doing girl trips together. You niggas is doing girl trips together. If that ain't the weirdest shit that I've never seen in my life, y'all are bonding with each other, and then you see them all on the. Where my passport at? I seen a picture of niggas doing like this. It was a bunch of weirdo niggas that was doing like this. Passport gang. Yeah, passport gang. Anton wish he can go and do passport life. Why would I want to go and do passport life with a bunch of losers? Losers. 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 Weirdos. Circle jerk partners. Why would I want to hang out with circle jerk partners? Huh? I want to hang out with people that is overseas doing the right thing, because right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of whether you're here in the United States of America or you go over into another country. Your moral compass carries with you. You don't need to go and figure out what their laws are to see which ones you can teeter on and break, regardless of what country you go to. If you're a good stand-up person, you're generally a good stand-up person no matter where you go. When I go to another country, I never have to go and look up what their laws are in order to go and do something that I'm not supposed to do. You know what I do? I just be regular. I respect them, and I look at their customs to see how it is that I can adapt more effectively so that I can show even more respect. Or, hey, do you supposed to tip in this place or you're not? How do you move, right? I don't have to look up the laws of another country in order to not go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that. You know why I don't have to do that? Because I'm a stand-up guy. Sex tourists, that's what they are. That's what I call them. Sex tourists. I didn't even know that black men had to do that shit. I thought that we was the kings of the earth. I thought that we was great. I did not know until I started seeing these degenerate ass motherfuckers on the internet. I did not know that black men had to pay for pussy. I always was raised to think, and now I know differently. I thought that that was a white man, a Chinese man, and an Indian man gang, and Arabic men. I thought that they were the ones that pay, especially white men. I was raised to believe, and maybe I was wrong, blame the people that raised me. I was raised to believe that white men pay for pussy. I did not know. This is a new thing for me. Being in Detroit, being raised in the inner city, I did not know that black men pay for pussy. That is new. That is new. Now, provide, protect, that's different. But exchanging money for pussy, and I know it's popular for you niggas to do. I know that y'all like to do all of this tricking and tricking. Ain't tricking if you got it. You let the hoes trick you into tricking. I did not know that men paid for pussy until I got older. I didn't know black men did it until I got older. I did not know it, bro. See? Always trying to justify. Some people will say you're paying the most. I did not know it. Look, a nigga with a cat. A nigga with a cat as his profile picture is sitting there talking to me, lecturing. This nigga chose a cat with a tuxedo as his profile picture. And he's having a conversation with me about what the cost is for box. Crazy P says, huh, Anton? AD trolling. Niggas been paying for Piquet. What are you talking about? It's the oldest professional. I did not know. I was not aware. I thought that was a white man thing. Growing up, I did not know that black men had to pay for pussy. I didn't know that. I thought that black guys can go anywhere and be adored. Right? I thought that black guys was the kings of conversation. That women adored us. That white women couldn't wait to get with black guys. I didn't know that they had to go and pay for the pussy. Honestly. I didn't know that. I thought that we was just able to go anywhere and make our presence felt. that you go where you gonna go, and if they fucking with you, they fucking with you. If they don't, that you don't. I thought that, you just said whatever you said, and you was cool with rejection, and we was cool with, not doing it. This is new for me. This is all new for me. Honestly, this is all new information for me. It's a new game. It's a new day. It's a new day. I thought we was cool with you. Hey, listen, you say what you want to say. Nah, nigga, my uncle's never paid for nothing. What you talking about? My uncle's never paid for nothing. I come from the space where it was cool to be the dealer, not cool to be the user. That you don't fuck with crack, man. Have we lost our way? Have we completely lost our way as people? Like, I know the culture is degenerate, but I thought it was rules to the game. I thought it was rules to the game. It's not rules to the game? Fuck. We that lost as a people? We adopted everybody's worst ways, the worst at everything everybody else can do? Somebody said every Navy. No, listen. We're not talking about military. We're not talking about expats. We're not talking about none of that. I'm talking about niggas that go out and give money, regular, everyday people that go out and give money for pussy. Look at y'all. I can't believe y'all. Look at these degenerate ass motherfuckers. Oh my God. Oh, y'all don't have no self-respect, no level of pride, no nothing. Oh. Well, you learn something new every day. You learn something new every day. Niggas is fucking crackheads. Okay. All right. What's up? Crimson says facts. Cellmate, soulmate. Anton Shalom. My third semester now of cybersecurity, killing it. Thank you again for the knowledge and the wisdom. Blessings. P.S. The haircut says it all. Shout out to my dog, Whiskey Pierre Luis. Jaquel says, the profile segments is going to be dope. Oh, we profiling all day long. We profiling all day long. Roscoe says, where one or more Pushaisis are gathered, I will not be in there. Girth Brooks says Talbish. Shout out to Talbish. Tech Coach Ralph says Merry Christmas. What up, Tech Coach Ralph says Merry Christmas, AD in the bag. Chase was looking forward to an even more productive 2026. Let's continue to run it up. My dog. We love truth and authenticity. Salute, AD. Shout out to you, Lonnie. I appreciate you, Lonnie. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. She did call me Lord Anton. Who are you talking to? What's up to my girl Crimson? I love you, baby. You is who you were before you got here. A passport can't change that. Talk about it, bad habits. Talk about it. My dog, the Mikey Mike show says, Anton, I do not have to, but I know of a lot of black men that do. And I know some black men that absolutely would not pay for box. Mikey Mike, I didn't know that it was a pandemic out here. Is it a shortage of hoes? Mikey Mike, let me ask y'all a question. Because there's a difference, because I know women, they be like, oh, why you calling all of us hoes? Listen, it's a difference between a hoe, a good chick, and a wife, right? Is it a shortage? Is it a box of lighters shortage out here? While complaining that people aren't products, but no problem selling their bodies. Shout out to Denise, my girl Denise. Is it a shortage? So there is plenty. So it's no shortage. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we was all on the same page. So what y'all paying for? Hey, baby. What's up, Tropical? Blessings, handsome Lord Anton. What's up, baby girl? I appreciate you. What's up, baby? So it's no shortage. No matter where you go. I was out there on the West Coast just walking down the street and there was this box that's available. It's available. Fly back over here to the Midwest, go down south. It's box everywhere. It's literal box everywhere. Everywhere. For every profession. The women as police officers, they mail carriers, they fucking unemployed. I don't think it's okay, so I'm just want to make sure we all on the same page. Good God. And then they tried to make trick and cool on the internet. They tried to make trick and cool on the internet. Fuck out of here, bro. You're not about to sit here and trick niggas in the dog. We need to bring shaming back. We need to bring shaming back, and we need to get the game back to where it needs to be. Enough. 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 No more. No more, bro. No more. No more. Allowing for this bullshit to happen and break off. We're not gonna keep on supporting this nonsense, bro. No more. Time to make America great again. Time to making black culture great again. That's my new slogan. Making a culture great again. 2026. Let me write that shit down. It's out of control, bro. It's out of control. Keep letting these. You said you got a handful. Okay. Yeah, it's out of control. We gotta figure this out. Niggas don't have game no more, Anton. You don't even need game no more. It's easier than ever. You don't need no game. This is easy. You just chill. We'll get there. We'll get there. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. You gotta put these niggas to a boot camp. Let me see. Trump launching attacks. Trump.
Morning, we are learning new details about the deadly strike operation that President Trump says he ordered on Islamic State terrorists in Nigeria. Listen to this. That, as you can see, released from the Department of Defense yesterday evening. The U.S. military reports multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in the attack, which the president first announced on social media. This comes after the president for months has warned that the United States could take military action in the African nation, claiming that ISIS had been targeting Christians in the region. The president writing in part this on social media about it. I have previously warned that these terrorists, that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay.
He did say that.
And tonight, he goes on to say, the Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Now, Nigeria confirmed the two countries coordinated in this effort, in this strike. Their foreign minister joined CNN earlier this morning.
What took place yesterday clearly underscores the fact that Nigeria is not lacking in will and a
So why is everybody tripping then? If Because they're trying to make it seem like, oh man, yeah, Trump, he just launched attack against Nigeria. If the Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs said that they coordinated and they worked with the US military and the Navy to launch these strikes, then I'm trying to figure out how are liberals trying to spin this to make it seem like they just went rogue. So the leadership in Nigeria is working with the Trump administration to make sure that they root out terrorism so that they can fix the things that's happening over in that country. And people are trying to make it seem like, oh no, Trump just launched these attacks overnight without any kind of coordination whatsoever. This is why I have to wait, and I wait for stuff to come out, and I look at multiple different platforms, and I look at local, and I look at national, I look at international, I look at liberal, I look at all of these different platforms to pull it together myself. Why are they trying to make it seem like he just is a rogue agent just doing anything? And let me also say that y'all need to stop getting all of y'all news off of TikTok, bro, because it's people that's just saying stuff and they don't know what the hell they talking about. It's people that's just saying stuff and just riding the wave and they don't have a clue of what they talking about.
Commitment to the fight against terrorism.
CNN's Nada Bashir tracking this one for us. Nada, what is the very latest that you're picking up?
Well, we're still not getting full details just yet from U.S. officials with regards to the details surrounding this strike. What we do know is the U.S. Africa Command has said that multiple Islamic State targets and militants were killed overnight in these deadly strikes. We've heard, as you mentioned, from the U.S. president himself addressing this military action in social media, saying and describing this as a powerful and deadly strike against Islamic State terrorists. And this strike took place in the northern Sokoto region of Nigeria, just bordering Niger. Now, at this stage, again, no clear details with regards to the impact. What we do know is that this was carried out in coordination with the Nigerian government. We've heard from a Nigerian presidential spokesperson and advisor saying that both the US and Nigeria are on the same page when it comes to tackling these security concerns. And of course, what we've been hearing from the White House for several weeks now and from the US president himself is the ramping up of concern around the protection of Nigeria's Christian community against extremist attacks. And it's important to note and underscore that, of course, Nigeria does have a deep-rooted history of security troubles when it comes to Islamist extremist groups. But these attacks that we have seen in the past have targeted both Nigeria's Christian and Muslim communities, two of the largest religious communities in the country. So this is certainly a historic concern within the country, but we are now seeing very clearly that first-hand action by the US military in Nigeria, according to officials, in coordination with the Nigerian government.
Let me tell you what I think is happening authentically. I'm going to tell you what I think is happening. This is what I think is happening. Even though Trump has stopped warring in some African countries and nations, what I believe is happening is that the Trump administration is working with the Nigerians, so that they can actually test United States military equipment. So they basically kill two birds with one stone. On one hand, you need a place to be able to carry out this type of activity, and you need some justification for it. And on the other hand, I believe that the Nigerian government wants to root out some of this terrorism. And so I believe that you kill two birds with one stone by allowing for the United States of America to actually test out certain military equipment and to do military training on real targets. And that's how you justify it. If I had to guess what the real reason is, because do I believe that there is any real uprising that would affect our interests here in the United States of America? Absolutely not. I don't think that you can even find a rock to throw over there without us being involved or knowing what's going on. Absolutely not. I don't believe even a little bit. And so how do you justify it? A, you work with a country that actually want to root out some of this terrorism. And then B, you actually utilize our military to test equipment instead of just launching it into the water or doing it in the desert somewhere. You can actually go and test out your equipment in real life, in real time, on targets that you know is soft targets. You can justify it by saying, well, yeah, they are, Islamic ISIS people that are targeting Christians in other countries, and we don't like that. But you need a soft target. You need somebody that's not retaliatory. You need a country that you're working with. And you also have to make an incentive for them to be able to accept it. And so how do you do that? Well, you work with the Nigerian government to target extremists over in other countries, and then you kill two birds with one stone. If you're saying, I think you're right, plus we want their resources. If we want their resources, we could just go and take their resources. If we want their resources, we'll just say, hey, we'll make it worth your while and we'll pay off this person and this person. You just do it like China do it. China go and give people resources all the time and they don't go to war. America do it all the time and they don't go to war. What you think that we have to go and target some Islamic ISIS militants in order to go and get somebody's resources? You're already getting it. What you talking about? You think our partnership with these piece of shit countries is based off of us wanting to see them do better? No, maybe you can get something out of it. We get something out of it. America's interest is the best interest. And so as a result, we're going to fix this whole situation. What you think that we have to target Islamic ISIS militants in another country in order to go and unearth their resources? China is fixing Jamaica. Stop. No, they not. No, no, they not. China, y'all so dumb. Y'all so dumb. Don't nobody give a fuck about y'all piece of shit countries, bro. That's why all of y'all trying to come over here. All the Nigerians that start trying to come over here. All of these people is trying to get to the United States of America. Y'all will sell y'all left leg. You sell your daughter to get over here into the United States of America. You don't even want your goddamn resources. You don't even know how to get your resources. You don't even know what resources you have. You'll sell your grandmother to get over here. What the fuck you talking about? Why y'all trying to act like y'all so cool? Y'all not cool. You're not cool. Your country is not cool. You've never been cool. It's not even the same. Stop trying to act like we give a fuck about what's going over in Nigeria. Is it a way that we can make it worth our while? Sure. We probably need to pay for this military launch anyway. We need to be able to justify it. And one thing I know is Trump is a businessman. But let's be very, very, very clear. Very clear. Very clear. They need us 10 times more than we need them. They would come over here in droves if we let them. If we said, you know what? Let's let all of the Nigerians come over into the United States of America. And I said this yesterday. And I said, listen, we got to stop grouping ourselves with everybody else. And it doesn't mean I'm not cool with my people that watch me in Nigeria. If you got a TV or you got a smartphone and you checking me out from Nigeria, shout out to you. All right? I appreciate you. But I have to keep it 100 the same way that I keep it 100 with the snow bunnies, the same way I keep it 100 with black culture here in the United States of America. Nobody is above it. Nobody is above it at all. Not one person. And the one thing that I want people to realize is that black is not synonymous with everybody of color. And so we got to stop doing that shit. Black is not synonymous with everybody of color. I know they want to say, oh man, all of these black people in Brazil or Nigerians and Jamaicans and Liberians, and they try to say that we Somalians, we just like Somalians because Somalia is over in Africa. We're not. We're not the same. The same way that you can say Asian people are not the same. Chinese people are different than Taiwanese people, are different than Japanese people, are different than Koreans, right? They're different. They're completely different people. The same way that you can't say all Asians are the same is the same way that you can't say that all black people are the same. It's not the same. European white people are much different than American white people. And everybody don't group themselves in together, so you should not be expected to do so also. Their culture is completely different. Their food is different. Their language is different. The way that they look at women is different. How they wear their sandals is different. We're not the same. So stop acting like we have to group y'all into everything. No, we not. You different. I'm different. We completely different. I don't know where people got that from.
Nada, thank you so much. Much more detail to learn here for sure. Appreciate it.
And the president warning, of course, there could be more to come in Nigeria, writing on Truth Social to the, quote, dead terrorists, warning there will be, in his words, many more if the slaughter of Christians continues. Joining me now in the group chat, Sungmin Kim, CNN political analyst and White House reporter at the Associated Press, Ashley Davis, former George W. Bush White House official, and Eugene Scott, contributing columnist at the Boston Globe and visiting fellow at the Johns Hopkins University Agora Institute. It's nice to see all of you this morning. Sungmin, when we look at where things stand.
Look at this diversity, equity, and inclusion panel. They found the most diverse group of people to talk to that they could ever find. You got the anchor, and then you got the Asian lady, you got the strong black man, and then you got the liberal white woman, and a group chat. These people would never even have a conversation in a coffee shop together. They all brought together on this platform to give their thoughts on Trump's U.S. military strike.
The president really has cast himself as this peacemaker, often talks about the wars that he says that he has ended. And yet we are seeing this approach not just in Nigeria, but in other pockets around the world. How do we square what we hear from the president and what we see on the ground?
Well, how the administration squares it is that this is all part of President Trump's strategy, his foreign policy doctrine of peace through strength, obviously. However, you have, on the one hand, you have, him touting all the conflicts that he has helped resolve abroad, but then you see a lot of offensive military action abroad. And his aides don't see that necessarily as a contradiction. They say that part of keeping broader peace is making sure that these targets abroad know that the U.S. is willing to strike if necessary. But I also think that this is a contradiction that you're going to be hearing on Capitol Hill, particularly as it relates to these strikes and and the strikes that we've been seeing elsewhere in the country.
She hasn't even said anything.
You had the Pentagon saying yesterday that they did this in coordination with Nigeria's government. However, you're already starting to hear from Capitol Hill. What about coordination with us? Is this something that lawmakers should have authorized? And I think that tension, that conflict, is also what we're going to be hearing in the next coming.
Nothing like getting Congress involved to get authorization from Congress to get things done. Make sure you guys, honestly, this is a nothing burger for me. I don't really care about what's happening in Nigeria right now because I don't really understand how it comes back to us and how it affects in a positive way the United States of America. But I will keep an eye out for it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. MBCGA, shout out to Georgia boy. Maurice Manhattan says, I'm so happy not to be in these streets. That's why I have my wife on my profile pic. Listen, Maurice, you don't have to put your wife on your profile pic to not be in the streets, bro. If that is the reason, you're not gonna sell me on the idea that that's the reason why you have your wife on your profile picture. You don't have to put your wife on your profile picture, bro. You can be your own person. One bus driver uppercut says, I don't support buying box. I know men that do, and they basically be saying that they want to hit and quit. That's all I was saying. I got you. I hear you. Abe the Hunter says, first of all, what would Christ do? Also, when you attack other countries like that, you open doors for other countries to attack us. For Nigeria, we opening the door for Nigeria to attack us. Nigeria. Let me say this also. Do you know, I can't stand when people say, well, what would Christ do? All you got to do is start reading your Bible. All you got to do is read the Word of God from front to back. And I will tell you that some of the greatest war stories that was ever ever documented and written is in the Bible. And when God sent his people in, he sent them in to wipe everything out. Everything out. And he would say, don't even take their women. Don't take their women. Don't take their kids in. Don't take their stuff. Wipe everything out. Destroy them. Wipe them off the face of the map. If you read your word and you read the Bible, or even if you studied the children of Israel, you would understand that God, he didn't play around. He did not play around, but anybody that was an enemy of God or enemy of his people was an enemy of God, and he wiped them out, wiped them off the face of that map. So much so to where he would punish the people that did not obey his word to wipe out everything when they thought that they'd either would take up the spoils of war, or when they would have mercy, he would punish them as a result of it. So please stop. God is a winner. He's a winner. Okay? Jesus went off on plenty of people. Cursed people out. Cursed people out all day long. Went off on plenty of people. Y'all really need to study our word, bro. Trump used Jules' line from Pulp Fiction. Do you read the Bible, Aces? So read your word. Go and study it. Get fervent in it. And don't just go based off of some little trinket that they had around your arm to make y'all feel good about God, about what you thought God was. All right? He did. He sent frogs and locusts, hardened Pharaoh's heart, so he could show his magnificence, his omnipotence. He went in there even when Pharaoh wanted to let the people go, hardened his heart and gave them some more plagues. He said, fuck around if you want to. Mess around if you want to. They really be acting like God wasn't like that. They better stop playing with the word. They don't know the word because they never read it. They never read the word, so they don't know about it. Wade Talks 96. What up, though? Says, thinking about returning my car that has high interest loan that's eating up my cash flow. I have a Jeep that I just fixed and I own it. Might have to have some more conversations about that. Chris Cunningham says it's crazy that liberal media won't talk about how the nation's crime is down by 25%. With WBJ said that 2026 won't be a recession, but they want to talk about Nigeria when they ask for help. Shout out to Chris Cunningham. I appreciate you, bro. He did. He literally flooded the earth. You're right. You're right. Drowned everybody and everything. Drowned everybody and everything and took no mercy whatsoever. Hey, listen, God, he was having conversations and he said, no, don't destroy the whole city. He said, listen, all right, cool. All right, cool. What's your proposal? Dog said, well, what if I can find hitherto 10 men, 5 men, even 1 man? Would you spare the city? He said, yeah, I won't burn this bitch down if you can find hitherto 10 men, 5 men. Guys that's not sucking dick and taking it in the ass. If you can find even a few of these motherfuckers, then I won't burn this whole bitch down. Shit. Talking about that. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. He was tearing everything out the frame. People was trying to, God, don't burn the whole thing down. All right, what you want this time, bro? Shout out to Aaliyah. Aaliyah says, Israel versus Gaza. Oh my God, there's a genocide. People are dying, protests in the streets. Christians in Nigeria dying, and they say it's non-existent. Facts. 11 years in the military and 7 in the special ops. We have hands everywhere, says Crash Out of Cash Out. People don't understand why they're safe now. That's what I'm saying. We're protected against things that we don't even know. We don't even know how bad it would get if we wasn't as protected as we are. Abe said he sent the people. They are not. I misspoke, AD. I'm just proud of my long-term marriage and all of the nonsense that I avoided. We are definitely individuals. Hey man, do what work for you, big dog. Do what work for you. I don't talk to people that don't have profile pictures. So if you want my attention, then you're going to have to get a profile picture. All right. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. There's so much to talk about. I'm glad that I'm doing a show tomorrow. Glad that we got a live stream tomorrow morning. Let's see. Trump. No, we talked about that. I want to talk about Ebro real quick. I heard they was hating on Charlamagne's deal.
You should, Rosenberg, when you saw Charlamagne's $200 million deal, you should have been happy, yeah?
Oh, I loved it. It was perfect timing. You know, everyone hopes that the day that they get exited from their job, the person they always considered a rival gets a $200 million podcast deal. It was great. I did smile in that way. I was like, oh, well, of course it would be this, you know, of course. But no, listen, it's a lot of money. I never know what those deals exactly mean, and I didn't read the article.
Probably, look, I mean, if iHeart just got $1 billion from Netflix, right?
Is that how much they say the deal was?
For iHeart, yeah, for the whole iHeart.
They say iHeart got $1 billion from Netflix?
Yes, to deliver podcasts.
Oh. By the way, that's
I didn't hear that.
Yo, did they really just want to stay in business? They really think the podcast videos are going to be that John Blaze on Netflix? That's worth $1 billion?
I mean, I don't know, bro. Let's watch it play out. I think it's good. It's great.
I haven't heard
I think
anything
it's great.
about that. I have not heard that they spent. I've researched this relentlessly. No, I haven't heard that. Where is he getting his information from? Maybe he has somebody on the inside that I'm not familiar with. But he's sitting there saying that they getting $1 billion to bring stuff to Netflix. I don't know. I haven't heard any of that. There's no media reports that's saying that. There's nothing. And maybe they are getting it, but they did not announce terms of the deal. And they didn't say anything about that. So where is he getting this $1 billion number from? Email me at Anton Daniels. Somebody put my email in the chat. Email me at AntonDaniels413@gmail.com.
Timing for us.
No, it is. The whole thing is good timing for us.
Oh, somebody said Angela Yee fell off. Let me speak on that. If they are getting paid, I believe, let me tell you what I believe. I believe that Envy also got a bag. I believe that Charlamagne is the only one that announced the money in the deal that he got, especially with his whole Black Effect Network and stuff like that. I believe Envy got paid too because they're bringing the Breakfast Club, and apparently they were in negotiation to, renew contracts and all of that, so on and so forth. But Angela Yee, I wonder how she feel about this whole situation. I wonder how Angela Yee feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Because what do you think that she thinking? And she took a chance. That's the thing that happens in business. You take a chance, and you wing it, and you say, you know what? Sometimes I believe in myself, or whatever, so on and so forth, and you may miss a bag. Or you may not be as good by yourself as you thought that you were. And I'm not saying that she won't get a bag or she's not as good by herself as she thought that she was, but good gosh, boy, I wonder if she feel like she got left out. I wonder if she feel like she should have stayed now. Like, man, I should have stayed. It wasn't what I thought it was. I'm not as good as I thought I was, or whatever. Somebody says she wasn't that good, though. It doesn't matter. Because when you're a part of the group, you can hide your flaws. Listen. It's like playing ball, right? If you're just playing one-on-one basketball, then it's a completely different skill set or way that you have to play versus playing team ball. You see what I'm saying? Like on the court, you can hide your flaws sometimes, right? It's not as bad when you're picking up a guy full court and you're a point guard that's only standing, you are Iverson picking up a larger guard full court because you got help on the weak side if he beats you. Or if you go for the fake, people are more willing to take risks in a team game because if you go for the fake, you still got my man over here. And we not worried about Ben Simmons over there in the corner because he can't shoot threes. So you can hide some of your weaknesses when you're playing with the team, right? Because you don't have to focus on your strengths. You only focus, or you don't have to focus on your weaknesses. You can only focus on your strengths. If Dennis Rodman was playing one-on-one, Dennis Rodman would not be considered one of the greatest players and one of a Hall of Fame player of all time. You know why? Because Dennis Rodman was not an offensive player. They brought Dennis Rodman in to rebound, give us 20 rebounds, give us 25 rebounds, play hard defense and hustle, and we love you. And they love Dennis Rodman for that. That's what he conditioned his game and what he worked on because he focused on his strengths. They didn't have to focus on him scoring. That's what they had Jordan for. That's what they had Pippen for. You see what I'm saying? That's what they had Steve Kerr. If you're a shooter, right? If you're a Steve Kerr, then you just focused on shooting. You had to be a knockdown shooter, a Mike Miller, all of those type of guys. You don't have to worry as much about creating your own shot because you got a Kevin Durant for that. You got this, you got a Steve Francis, you got all of these type of guys. So my point is that when you're working with the group, because a lot of people say, well, she was whack. She wasn't whack with the whole group because they were able to hide her weaknesses and exchange it for strengths. You know what I'm saying? People were not focused on her weaknesses as much, but when you have to carry a whole show by yourself, it's different. It's kind of like people that be on our panels, right? And some people will say, oh man, they transformative. You should start your own show, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, they're boring by themselves a lot of times. There's a lot of people. If you had to, and shout out to Joe Budden, do you think that Joe Budden would be able to do a show by himself? Or do you think that what makes Joe special is that he can play off of different conversations, sit back, introduce certain things, go off, go on a rant, right? He got the issues, he got, the Flip, he got Mark, he got the white girl, he got all of these people. When these people go off on their own, you have to know who you are. You have to be able to play a role, right? You have to understand where your strengths are, know where your weaknesses are. Some people jump into certain conversations and I create and I craft and I produce conversations or different subjects based off of where I know this person's strength is or what I know this person's strength is. I picked Carrie to host because Carrie has a special skill set when it comes to hosting, carrying a conversation, picking and choosing, minding out different details. So I'll give you an example. Carrie is the type of person, I can give her a subject, I can give her a video, and I can say, all right, this is what we're about to be talking about for the next 30 minutes. Carrie will then say, okay, well, this is what it says at the bottom. What is it? Is it smart for her to go left or was it smart for her to go right? But based off of different people that's having a conversation, Carrie has a talent being able to ask additional questions depending on who's saying what, and then to focus on this person more and to get more out of this person versus letting this person chill a little bit more. And then this person starts to step a little bit more up in the next conversation. So you have to understand where people's strengths and weaknesses are. Otherwise, guess what Carrie would be doing? Because you're not utilizing her to her full capacity, Carrie is over there like this. Y'all don't even know. See, I pay attention to everything. Carrie got a little bottle, and because this subject is not something that she's as familiar with talking with, she over there coloring. She used to be doing like this on her bottle. So I asked myself the question, okay, well, what is Carrie's strengths? How do I keep her engaged? Why does she like this? What does she like that? Whatever, so on and so forth. Right? There she is right there. So now I'm utilizing Carrie to her full potential. Why? Because Carrie, if you're not utilizing her fully, she may pull back on a subject that she's not as engaged with because she's going to color on her little bottle. And it should be like this. Right? So then I asked myself, I said, okay, well, wait a minute. Let's stop for a second. I'm not utilizing this girl to her full potential. She's not just a person that could just talk. She can talk and she can pull stuff out of other people. Right? So my point is that when you think about an Angela Yee, right? When you think about an Angela Yee, I'm not looking at Angela Yee. I never looked at Angela Yee as a person that can carry a full show. I thought it was beautiful and phenomenal that she actually struck out on her own and she tried it. But, yep, I know she was coloring. She knows she was coloring a lot. I think it was beautiful and phenomenal that she struck out on her own and did it. But where I think that Envy and Charlamagne is smart at is that they realize that, you know what, we might be able to get an even bigger bag together than we will apart. You see the difference? So you also have to have leadership that can identify certain things and put the puzzle together and see the pieces and all of this stuff, right? You have to have certain people that can see it, to see the vision. And I think that she might have fumbled. She might have fumbled the bag. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she's happy in her role. I think she might be punching in the air.
Listen, there were things that Charlamagne was willing to do that I would have never done. Never. And that's how you get to those big bags.
Because I don't to have the people like the iHearts of the world want to hand you this much money.
But it's the same with Stephen A. Smith, though. When Disney
I got you,
wants
Richard.
to give you money like that, you got to do a dance I ain't willing to do.
He's so fake. He's so fake. He's so fake. Listen, this ain't nothing but hate disguised as constructive criticism. Man, you know what? It's the same way with Stephen A. Smith, with him getting that $100 million or Charlamagne. You know, when you get that type of money, you got to be able to do a dance that they ain't willing to do. Now they could have said, man, congratulations. I'm so happy that Charlamagne got the bag, because what it does is it gives a blueprint and it opens the door. And listen, you don't even have to agree with Charlamagne. I disagree with Charlamagne on a lot of stuff. And I still disagree with him on most of his political takes and his alignment with Kamala Harris. But I'd be a fool and I'd be a straight up hater to not congratulate the nigga and to actually say, yo, bro, you did something incredibly well. And I can't take that away from you. Your business acumen is A1. You leveraged everything that you can and you got a bag. You should be able to objectively identify and give credit where credit is due. You should be able to give credit where credit is due. You should not, come on, man, this is all hate. You know what? They willing to do some things that I ain't willing to do. You can't even identify nothing that they did differently.
You could have.
They just better than you.
I think you could have done it. I don't know if you would have gotten the Stephen A. 30 a year is a big one.
Who?
You.
No.
But I think you would if you had flipped it on and done the dance right, you could have got yourself a nice 10, 15. I think that's
bullshit.
But
I can't do it.
Ebro, you should have been at Turning Point USA this weekend. This could have been you.
Nah, son, it crossed my mind.
You could have been lit.
Because imagine, if I start sitting down with the, give me a name.
Candace.
Oh.
Listen, bro, sometimes your time is up. And you try to start getting your name and your game in the game. I watched a full episode of Ebro and because this used to pretty much only be allocated every day on the radio to New Yorkers. I watched Ebro and Rosenberg. All right. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't see how y'all niggas thought that these niggas was special all of these years in the first place. And I'm keeping it real. I can't be any more honest than that. I am very, very confused. Bro, do you know that if I came up in New York with 8 million people versus coming up here in Detroit with 700, 600,000 people in the city, and then you got the metro area. 8 million people in New York. I get so aggravated at New Yorkers because y'all had the greatest opportunities and the biggest audiences ever. And some of y'all sucked and some of y'all was trash and they still allowed for y'all to get through the door just because you were blessed and maybe you knew somebody or y'all just had so many people to where it didn't even matter. Bro, if I came up in New York, I would have ran this shit way faster and way earlier than all of y'all. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 from y'all. I'm giving it 100% real. The talent in New York has been substandard for years. Years. I sat and I watched them, these veterans, these radio veterans that's been on the radio forever. And I listened to their YouTube channel, their new YouTube channel. And I'm very, very clear on what my thoughts are. These people are not good. They are not good. People that have been in New York radio for all of these years, they have not been good in a long time. Rosenberg is living off a name only. Ebro is living off a name only. And it's a lot of other people that's living off a name only. These people are not good. They haven't been good for a long time, Jaquel. I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. Conversations is boring. They bring no insight. Who? Who, me? Yes, you. Then who? Then me. Like, come on, fam. Stop it, bro. Facts, Wok. Facts, Wok. Facts. Facts on facts on facts. Facts on facts on facts. Man, listen, when I went to New York, I would be listening in the morning like, what is this shit? This is so discombobulated. Why did they keep on starting the song over and over again? Why do they keep hitting sound effects over and over again? Just play the whole fucking song through, and if you want to play it again, throw your little stamp on it and play it again. Why do fucking New York radio sound like a fucking mixtape? Honestly, I used to go to New York all the time. And I would be like, I don't see what New Yorkers see in these niggas. But apparently they like it. High voices, a lot of yelling. It just sounded bad. It just sounded bad. But I guess because they from New York and they had 8 million people, it was easy to have that shit. No unique conversation, no none of that. They just he hating. This is hater. This is classic hater rhetoric.
Ben
right
Shapiro.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Tucker Carlson.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you really go all the way to Nick Fuentes.
I mean, me and Nick would get it popping.
I mean, well, you guys could find some common ground. It's all about finding common
What
ground.
common ground will we find?
Listen, I'm sure you guys could find the same person you don't like here or there. Have yourself a little chit chat.
Well, apparently, me and Nick agree on Israel. Me and Candace agree on Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, Do these people even want to talk to them? Do they want to talk to Rosenberg? Do they want to talk to Ebro? Anyways, so apparently he was feeling some type of way about Charlamagne getting his 200 M's. And instead of congratulating him, he had some hate to say. But I mean, that's logical. You can make the argument and say that maybe the Breakfast Club over time eventually took them out. I don't know. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. How do I have a cop? Oh, yeah, I sent that to you. She thought, who needs Charlamagne when you got Mano? They doing their thing over there, the Let's Rap About It show, so shout out to them. Long Way ENT says, Charlamagne the guy that's trashed by himself. That's why all of his shows outside of the Breakfast Club and the Brilliant Idiots, everything else flops. Well, he played to his strengths, if that's the truth. Martin Muhammad says, what up, though? My UAD brother, what up, though, Martin Muhammad? Ironic you brought him up. I just saw a story that Ben Simmons retired from the NBA to become a professional fisherman. Well, he stole enough money. Did you cover the DK Metcalf losing $40 million because he punched the Lions fan? Possible bag fumbler of the year? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. There, let me cover it. Let's go back to F your feelings, AD. Go hard. I'm a little bit more refined now. I'm a little bit more refined. You are one of the best on YouTube. Thank you so much for your blatant truth about illegal lovers and Somali fraud protectors and Islamic invasion on American citizens and American government and American culture traditions. Thank you, James. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for holding me down. DJ Metcalf. Let me see. DJ Metcalf. Let's see what's happening. Or D. Oh. DK Metcalf loses what? Why y'all say he lost 40 million? I see he will forfeit 550 million. It's a 2-game suspension. Oh, his future guarantees got voided? What?
Hey guys, it's your favorite Unk here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't worry. DK Metcalf has been suspended 2 games without pay by the NFL for conduct detrimental.
Hold on. I see you, Unk. Hold on. I see you, Unk. Shannon got the rebrand. All right, Shannon. Hey, Unk said I'm growing out a beard. I'm about to have it connected. That look dope. That look dope. I like that. That is dope. That's dope. I see you, Unk. Yeah, he got rid of the newscaster look and said I'm about to grow a beard. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Shannon Sharp. I'm no hater. I've criticized Shannon Sharp earlier, but he actually looked like a man's man now. Like he looked more refined. He looked dope. I like that shit. That's dope. I see you, Unk. All right. He might get him. Next thing you know, you might get him a sister. Who knows? Get it there, Unk. I see you, big dog.
The NFL for initiating physical confrontation with a fan. According to the NFL release, DK actions violate league policy and that specifies player may not enter the stands or otherwise confront fans at any time on game day, and if a player makes unnecessary physical contact with a fan in any way that constitutes unsportsmanlike conduct or presents crowd-controlled issues and or with risk of injury, he will be held accountable. DK plans to appeal the suspension, according to Adam Schefter. Ocho, if the suspension stands, DK will forfeit $555,500.
First of all, that's a lot of money in itself. Listen, bro, I'm not missing out on no bags. Hey, you see, he looked like he about to cry.
56
Ocho looked like he about to
dollars
cry for a
in
second. Listen. I'm not foregoing no $500,000 for nobody. Nobody. All because you can't control yourself, because you can't control your ego. All because you can't control I don't care how much money I got. That's the thing that people don't understand. People think that just because you got money, that means that you can afford to lose some money. No, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean that I'm about to give up a bag. What is you, crazy? I'm not about to lose no money over you. Get the hell out of here. Never. Ever, 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 ever. Never, ever will I ever lose $1 for you because he got into it with a fan. That's what fans do. But these new players, they sensitive, bro. Even the basketball players. Like I've tempered out a little bit, so I'm a little bit more chill because I don't be wanting the camera on me the whole time. But I will tell you that if you start talking, a lot of times they get emotional. They get emotional. And I be thinking to myself, bro, this your job. You didn't come into the stadium understanding that fans was going to be talking junk and that you got to put up a jump shot and you go back with them. You could draw back with them, but you don't go in you don't put yourself in a position where the organization sees you as an issue. And now they questioning whether or not you want to get a new contract. Are you dumb? 550, forget this. Before we even get to the 40 M's, the 500.
Games. But here's the most important issue. If the suspension holds, he voids $40 million in future guaranteed money.
Wait,
the gentleman that he confronted, Ryan Kennedy, the Detroit Lions fan involved in the altercation, denied he used a racial slur, misogynistic, or hate-based language during the incident, according to the statement released by a Michigan law firm. According to Tom Pelissero, DK had a history with this Lions fan he confronted Sunday. Metcalf reported the same fans to Seahawks security last season while playing with Seattle. Also worth noting, when DK joined the Steelers, he told a radio play-by-play broadcaster that he prefers to be called DeQuillen, but goes by DK because it's easier to pronounce. I think I read somewhere now.
And that's true, because I'll tell you this, they remember who is who. Like, they know who is who, especially if, regularly play there every year, if you play there multiple different times a year. No, I never got kicked out of the game. I ain't never been kicked out of no game, ever. Not one time have I ever got kicked out of the game. Not one time have I ever got kicked out of the game. They remember certain fans. They remember people. They remember a lot of different things. And if he's had this type of back and forth with that fan, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. If he would have said a racial slur, everybody in the audience and everybody on the ground would have heard it, and they would have been like, ooh, like it would have been a big deal. It would have been a big deal. If he would have said a racial slur, because you can't yell that without it becoming painfully obvious that you said it, who said it, and the security would have been on his ass immediately. Immediately. They would have got you up out of there so fast. The rules of the game is this, for the most part. Keep it on the field. Don't get too personal as far as stuff outside of whatever it is that you're talking on the field, and leave it at that. Now, of course, he's going to say the fan said a racial slur. That's the way he's going to try to get out of the suspension, because he want to get his money back. You cannot yell out no racial or alphabet slur. You can't do none of that. You cannot, especially that close to the field. You cannot do that. They will be on your ass. So he just crashed out. Listen, I don't give a fuck what you call me. That's for the security to catch. That's for the people. Now, here's what some of the players do when they get too sensitive. They don't go over really to confront the fans. The only time that the players go back and forth with the fans in most instances is when they jawing back and forth like, wow, yeah, okay. That's why I'm about to break your team or whatever. They talk shit and they say whatever that they're gonna say, right? It'd be all, in the heat of the moment in the sport of the game. Usually a lot of times, if you really get them bothered, they'll go over to the ref or they'll talk to the whatever person and they'll be like, yeah, I want that guy thrown out, or man, this dude is saying this, or they'll lie on you, or they'll say, hey, he said a racial slur, or he said this and that, and so on and so forth, right? Or you can do it like him and you can just crash out and just lose all of your money. Under no circumstances would I be sitting there losing $500,000 or $40 million in guarantees and future money.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this and don't hold me. But I think he reported. He might have reported it to security, Steelers security. I don't know. But this is what we know. What he what he's allegedly told you, what he allegedly reported, I think James Harrison, and what this gentleman, it does not. There has to be someone. There has to be someone that was in that vicinity that heard the back and forth between the two.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, there has to be.
Shannon
There
is
was
owning.
audio that came out today. Audio that's not clear. Audio that does not state what was said or exchanged between those two. The audio that
Shannon
you
is
do hear,
100% right.
for one, the people that are literally sitting next to holding the camera. Listen, he has no reason to lie. He has no reason to lie. And what I don't do, I do not condone putting your hands on the fan. I don't condone that. That's absolutely that.
Yes.
No matter what they say, no matter what they say, you should not touch a fan. Now, going back and having a verbal altercation, now that's okay. A little trash talk back and forth.
I'm with the trash talk 100%. To keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't condone putting your hands on the fan. But there's certain people that you can't tell them how to react based on what you say to them. I know, listen, it's freedom of speech. You can say what you want.
It's not freedom of hands, though.
To say, but also with that, you can control what people do if they choose to do something, depending on what you say.
I can control how I react to it, and he lawyered the fuck up.
And that's what I said yesterday. And I said yesterday that the NFL, they're gonna come down now.
Oh, they're gonna, I said, Ocho, he is suspended.
I thought
heavy
it would been a $50,000 fine. I thought it'd been a $50,000.
No, it was never gonna be 50.
But I mean, hey, listen, it sucks. It sucks for the Lions, for their fans in general, just for this stain to even be on them, for that, for this to even happen. They have so many good things going on already for them. For DK, DK's been a hothead, not really with the fans, but on the field in general.
On the field, he grabbed face mask, got unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Yeah, so I mean, for him, it sucks as well. The whole $40 million guaranteed, that being voided based on whatever it may be. I'm not sure how that even implies or is even part of the situation in general. So you would probably have to explain it for me a little bit more in depth, how that would even affect this in general.
Any suspension triggers a board of guaranteed money.
Dummy. And this is why I call athletes, most of them, Neanderthals. This is why I call a lot of athletes Neanderthals, because they don't think before they act. They don't think before they act. They don't. You a hater post millennial debates. Shannon said Shannon was 40 last week. He looked 68 here. No, Shannon just looked like a grown fucking man. He just looked dope. Like, listen, we don't have to hate. You could have a difference of opinion, but you don't have to hate. You can't say that he looked like a grown man. He just looked cool. He looked chill. He looked cool. He looked like an adult. He looked mature. Shannon got himself together. He looked dope. I like the look. I like the fact that he grew the beard out. I think that when you start to get older and you become a man, that you're supposed to get it. So yeah, shout out to Shannon Sharp for getting it and DK Metcalf for fumbling the bag. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. People be hating. Random, I have a blind trust and faith when it comes to you. Why? Thank you always for making me feel valuable. You're the best part of my day so far, and I feel safe under you. You see that? You see that? Now, here's the thing. When a woman, because I talk to Lex regularly, when a woman puts 100% buys in, that's when you have to take responsibility and you have to own that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because now you can't fumble that. You can't fumble that. Ain't nothing you can say to this girl about me. Ain't nothing you can say to this girl about me, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. It's my girl right there. Brooklyn Kennedy says real NY ninjas don't listen to hot or power bozo. Happy Friday, 80 and Peeps beer game is strong, says Chase Barnes. Q, the executive, says he finally got the message. We were taught to never trust a man without facts, without facial hair. Let's go beer game, Merry Xmas to the Chasers. We winning. Macaroni Gaming TV says Banter Barter Show and Courtney Egger Show are good panels. Shout out to them too. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Macaroni Gaming TV also. Wyatt says when running out of cards, it's always one more card to pull, the black card. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are my people. Y'all are my people. All right. We got after hours tonight, and we got the Millionaire Morning Show again tomorrow because we live streaming tomorrow too. And we gonna get it in, man. We gonna get it in. All right. I'm about to go down to the gym, get a workout on, get a nap, and then get these videos pumped out. And I also got to continue to get the vlog transitioned over. And that way we can be prepared to really start to hit it on the live stream on Patreon. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest of all time. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.